Adam, please tell me I know that we're live. Please let me know when people have come in and when to
People are
begin.
still coming in, so let's give it another few seconds.
Okay.
Okay, Ron, I think you can start.
Good evening. My name is Ron Halber, and I'm the executive director of the Jewish Community Relations Council of Greater Washington. Today, as we observed Shabbat and Simchat Torah, we were horrified to learn about today's unprovoked, unprecedented, coordinated invasion of southern Israel by Hamas, backed by thousands of missiles launched across Israel with only one purpose in mind: kill Jews and create mayhem. Israelis are still gathering in shelters around the country, and the situation is ongoing. Hundreds of Israeli civilians and soldiers have been reportedly killed. Thousands have been injured, and dozens of hostages and dozens of civilians and soldiers have been taken hostage inside of Gaza, and this number continues to grow. The carnage wrought by Hamas only validates who and what it really is: a ruthless terrorist organization that seeks to kill Jews and destroy any hope for a peaceful future between Israelis and Palestinians. Israel has declared war on Hamas and has begun military action to defend its citizens. We are stunned, we are horrified, we are enraged, and we grieve because of today's attacks. Let us be clear: the JCRC of Greater Washington and the entire Greater Washington Jewish community fully supports Israel's right to defend its citizen and take whatever military action is necessary in the coming days to do so. And our country will remain united in the coming days as the situation unfolds. Please remember these words when in the coming days pundits start calling for a ceasefire or an end to the cycle of violence or Israel's disproportionate response. We are also grateful to the Biden administration for their unequivocal support for the state of Israel at this moment of crisis and for support from both sides of the political aisle. Before we begin our program, we turn to members of our local Greater Washington rabbinical community to offer us spiritual support during this time of crisis. We know there are many members of our community today whose observance prevents them from joining us, but we know they are here today in full solidarity. With us, we have Rabbi Fred Daub of Adat Shalom Congregation, Rabbi Gary Pokris of Temple Beth Ami, and Rabbi Stuart Weinblatt of B'nai Tzedek. First, Rabbi Weinblatt will lead us in the prayer for the IDF.
Thank you, Ron, and for all the members of the community. As we stand united in solidarity with those who are defending Israel, we offer this prayer. Mishiberach avotenu ve'imotenu, hu yivarech et chayilei tzava ha'hagana liYisrael, u'shar meginei amenu, homdim al mishmartam. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless the soldiers of Israel's defense forces, Tzahal, and all who stand guard in order to protect our people. May the Holy One, blessed be God, protect them and save them from all troubles and afflictions, from all sickness and injury, and send blessing to all their endeavors, and may they succeed in defeating her enemies. May the words of the prophet come to pass through them, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. And each one shall sit under the vine and under the fig tree, and none shall make them afraid. And let us say, Amen.
Amen. Now, Rabbi Daub will lead us in a prayer for Israeli soldiers and civilians being held captive by Hamas.
Our God, the one who raised Yosef up from the pit, please be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. Psalm 9. Send complete rescue and full redemption to those held captive by the enemy. The text that we're working from has in a bracket insert names, and it just underscores the precariousness of this moment, that there are too many to even count. Strengthen their spirit and bring them our prayers, that they may be protected from all harm. Implant understanding in the heart of our opponents, that they may return the captives in wholeness of body and spirit. Grant wisdom to Tzahal, that they may secure freedom for the captives without further loss of life. Grant strength of spirit and courage of heart to all the children of Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar, to release bonds of captivity and allow us all to live in freedom. Adapted from Psalm 91, they shall call upon me and I will answer them. I will be with them in distress. I will rescue them and honor them. Ken Yehi Ratzon.
Thank you, Rabbi Dab. And now Rabbi Pokras will lead us in a prayer for the state of Israel. And then following that, collectively, all the three rabbis in our line will read in Hebrew from the prayer for the state of Israel collectively as a symbol of our unity. Rabbi Pokras.
O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Strengthen the hands of those who defend our holy land. Grant them deliverance, and adorn them in a mantle of victory. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. And we say, Amen. I now invite my colleagues to join me in repeating the prayer in the original, in Hebrew. Avinu shebashamayim, Sur Yisrael v'goalo.
Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Tzmichat Geulateinu.
Agen aleha, bevrot chasdecha,
Ufros aleha sukat shlomecha.
Ushlach orcha v'amitcha l'rosheha, sareha v'yoatzeha.
ותגנם בעצה טובה באופניך.
Chazek yedei megine eretz kodshenu.
V'hanchilem Yeshua v'chayim, v'natata shalom ba'aretz.
ושמחת עולם ליושביה, ונאמר אמן.
Amen.
Amen. And now we turn to Eliav Benjamin, who's the deputy head of mission at the Embassy of Israel, for a briefing on today's situation. Eliav, thank you for joining us. I know you're quite busy on this day that we will never forget and always remember.
Indeed. Thank you, Ron, for setting this up. Thank you, JCRC, and everybody for participating in this. I can't tell you how heartwarming this is for me, for us, to see this solidarity and support from all of you here and so many more who are not on this call now. It really, really is heartwarming in so many different ways. I'm not going to go into why and how this happened. We'll leave that for historians afterwards. It's irrelevant for what we have now looking forward. But I do want to make it very, very clear. Number one, Israel on this at this time is united, is one, and we are one also with you. And Israel and we will win this battle, this war. This isn't just another round or cycle of violence. This is a real war that was started not by Israel, but by Hamas. And as I said, we will prevail and we will win. Started at about 6:30 this morning, Israel time, to about 12:30 at night in DC, or 11:30 at night in DC. Today I can say that there aren't too many people that I know that one distance from them, they have somebody they know who is involved in some way, shape or form, whether killed, injured, kidnapped, or somehow involved in this, in, including my family personally as well. We're still in the middle of it. We're still in the middle of the events. It's still unfolding. We still have a few areas and pockets that are still in battle within neighborhoods, within Yishuvim around Gaza. We're minimizing these number of places. We were hoping to finish and kind of clean these places out by nighttime in Israel, but it's still ongoing, and hopefully we'll finish it at least on the Israeli side in the next few hours. We're talking about thousands of rockets that were fired. We're talking about infiltrating Israel by land, by sea, by air as well, in multiple areas. We're talking about hundreds of people who were killed, both civilian and military. About 300 or so that we know to date. About 1,500 known registered injured, but the numbers are going to grow. And we're talking about over 100, both civilians and military, who have been kidnapped into Gaza, including families, including young kids. You've seen some of the images, I assume. Don't believe everything you see, but even what we do know that is correct and accurate is something that I don't think any of us could have ever dreamt of happening. We have the deployment of miluim, of reservists coming into the military, deployment of brigades. And I assume that in the next 2 or 3, maybe more days, maybe a bit less, we may see also some maneuvering on the ground, in addition to what we've been doing so far from afar. Just to understand, to make it clear, we're talking about 5.5 million Israelis who are within range of 0 to 80 kilometers from Gaza, whose lives are directly affected by this. And who are finding it difficult to maintain a routine way of life, as everybody else is finding it difficult. Sorry. We are also very, very much heartwarmed by the really wall-to-wall support that we have here from the US, both from the administration and from Congress, and of course from you and from every single community around the country. We're seeing this. It is, I think, unprecedented with such a way of support in such a great way. We've had calls of the President, of the Secretary of Defense, of Secretary of State, to Prime Minister, to the President, to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Defense, and to all the other leaders in Israel. There is a very close contact going on, and offering of support in any and every way that we may need. What we're looking at now is to create as much legitimacy for our actions and our retaliation in everything and anything that we'll have to be doing now in order to fight back. And we will do everything necessary to return those who are in captivity, and to make it very clear to Hamas and to anybody else who is out there to get us that they are losing and that they will lose. So it's an easier thing, or an easier challenge perhaps today, the day of, to get this legitimacy. It will probably be more challenging as days proceed. And this will take time. It's not something that will be over in 24 hours. I don't know to say how long it will take. Nobody really knows at this point. But this is also where we need you looking forward and looking ahead as well, for continuing the show of solidarity and support, for reaching out not just within your congregations, but with your congregations and through your communities to those who have even more influence than all of us, to make sure that we continue receiving this support, both orally and also materially as things may progress. And apart from having the legitimacy, which should be very clear, for Israel's right to protect itself and to take every means possible to protect itself, it's also, of course, to come and denounce the Hamas operations and everything that they are doing. I'm reminding us all that Hamas is under a designation here in the United States and by the European Union, by other countries around the world as well, as a well-known terrorist organization. Any support and show of support that you can do will be welcomed by us, whether it's letters, statements, parades, lighting buildings, anything, anything that you can come up with. We would be happy and willing to multiply these forces as well, and to echo them too. What we in Israel are doing, and what we're doing here also at the embassy and in the consulates across the country, is reaching out to the communities, reaching out to the administration, to Congress, to other communities around the country, for any support that we can get, and any support that and suggestions that can come out. I'd like to end after saying thank you to everything, and to everyone and everything that you've been doing. Just to make it clear again, Hamas has declared war on Israel. We will retaliate with war, and Israel will prevail, and we will win. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Eliav. Today, now that we've talked a little bit about we've had prayers of support and we've had a briefing. We're not taking Q&A. The embassy is quite busy, as you can imagine, at this time. I did want to give everybody a little update on what has been done and what we are doing. The Federation has issued a statement in support, and JCRC has backed that, and we have a very comprehensive statement that will be coming out in the next hour or two, which will be giving details beyond just the denunciation about ways to engage. All members of the DC Washington area congressional delegation have issued support for the state of Israel. The Federation has opened an Israel Crisis Relief Fund to provide critical financial resources that will be needed in the coming weeks. Please donate it. The magnitude of financial assistance is going to be extraordinary. We have been assured by local law enforcement that patrols have been increased around Jewish institutions in the area. The JCRC is working with the Friends of the IDF, which is an organization that works with lone soldiers, that is American Jews and from other countries who are serving in the military. We're going to have a private supportive event for them because their children are in homes abroad or their family members. We are working with interfaith partners to issue statements of support. If you find yourself in need of any emotional support, the Jewish Social Service Agency and the Federation and the Jewish community is there for you. Please call Jess's hotline, 703-J-CARING, 703-J-CARING. In addition, the Israeli consulate in New York has set up a hotline, and that number will be provided in our statement coming up, where Americans or Israelis can find information about information about loved ones in the southern region of Israel. We are working on a solidarity event that we will be announcing shortly. Please be patient, because most sites where we'll be holding a downtown rally are in fact on federal property, whether it's Lafayette Park or McPherson Square, and they require a permit, but it's the weekend and Monday is a federal holiday. The JCRC will continue to issue regular email updates about providing information and advocacy opportunities to act in support in the coming days for the state of Israel, its defense forces, and its citizens. Everybody should remember this day. This is comparable to Israel's Pearl Harbor. It's comparable to America's Pearl Harbor or America's 9/11, an unprovoked, coordinated attack whose only desire was to kill Israeli citizens. We should all pray for the well-being of the state of Israel and its people. And to those who believe that, who think that the Jewish people have been, or the American jury has been divided by the political reform package that is in Israel, let me tell you, you are sadly mistaken. We stand united as one, and we will do so in the coming days in defense of our brethren abroad. Thank you for joining us this evening.